What's up, dreadheads, fuckheads, and all you other horror movie loving freaks? I'm Jay, and welcome to another episode of Fright Flick FMK, where we watch the horror movies and tell you if we would rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. And on this episode, we're going to be covering a 2022 American science fiction horror film called Kids versus Aliens. And that's exactly what it is, Kids versus Aliens. Director, and trust me, I am going to butcher these names because I've been drinking. The Gentleman Jack, as you all know. Um, so I'm going to butcher these names all up. The director is Jason Eisner. Yeah. Writers is John Davies and also Jason Eisner once again. And you can watch Kids versus Alien right now streaming on Shudder. And if you don't have Shudder, see, I'm already slurring. If you don't have Shudder, then you need to get your asses up there and go get it. We talked about this on previous shows. Shudder's got a lot of good older movies, a lot of their own Shudder originals that they released. So this one was released just a few days ago, actually. And as you can see, things look a little different right now. As you can see, I am flying solo tonight. My co-host with the most, the man with the sexiest mustache on this side of the Mississippi, my main man, little bro, John, is not here today. John and them is going to be on a hiatus. And if you've gone over and listened to their podcast on spreadthedreadpodcast.com, and they've explained everything, him and Chris are super busy. They got a lot going on. They both work full-time jobs. This little YouTube podcast thing that we do is not something we do for the money. So they have full-time jobs. They have, kids, and Chris is in school, so they're super busy. They're in the process of looking for a new place. They're in the process of moving. So a lot on their plate right now. And then, they got to take care of family comes first. Family always comes first. So they're taking a little break. Spread the Dread will be back. Jonathan will have his sweet ass mustache back up here next to me soon. So I'm going to cover this Fright Flick FMK, and this is going to be my first time flying solo. So if there's pauses or I just kind of go blank, I'm not going to have the great mind of John to kind of pick up that other side of the slack and carry this thing on. But yeah, so I think that pretty much kind of covers that. We're going to jump into this movie, and I'm going to talk about it. And we base it on three different things. We base it on the storyline, the cast, and also the kills, which is my favorite. I'm a huge kill, the more the gore, I love it all. But so we're going to get into Kids versus Aliens. And in this movie, it's going to start you off. First, we'll kind of touch on the cast of some of these people in this movie. And I'm going to have to read these names because I don't have the best memory in the world. And so I'm going to kind of touch on some of these names right here. So we have Gary and Samantha, who are brothers and sisters in this movie. Dominic Marachi plays Gary, and Phoebe Rex plays Samantha. They are brothers and sisters. And in this movie, in the beginning of this movie, is going to start off, they're going to be a ship out in the ocean. And there's some fishermen or whatever they're doing out there. They're fishermen. I'm not really sure. They're out there doing some deep sea fishing and storming a little bit. You know how shit, I guess, gets out on the open seas. But they see this bright light, and something comes like just crashing into the water. And a few things happen there. Well, then after that, it cuts scene back to the mainland. Now, before I go on, there's something I want to explain and break down, because this part's going to confuse some people, especially if you were born after, let's just say, fucking 2010. Oh, there's going to be spoilers in this. So we tell you this every time we do a show. There will be spoilers. If you don't want to know the spoilers, then pause this sweet ass show, and jump on over to Shudder and watch Kids versus Aliens. That way, whatever I say won't be a spoiler, and you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, but this part I'm going to explain to you in the beginning. This is going to be, some of you, it's going to go over your head. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to grasp it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to lead you in the direction that will help you get through this. So in the beginning, like I said, 2010 and above. If you were born after 2010, this might be a little over your head. But in the beginning, you're going to see some kids, little young kids, almost teenagers. They're all dressed up in this these cool ass outfits. They're like, look like they're in battle. They got like some people taking on like these dinosaur type thing. But the thing that some of y'all won't understand is these kids are outside playing. Outside. That's what some of y'all not going to understand. Y'all going to be like, what are they doing right now? They're like outdoors. They don't have a phone in their hand. They don't have an iPad in their hand. So they're outside actually playing, being creative. And that's what some of the newer ones, y'all might not understand that, but that's what they're doing. See, back in the day, we used to go outside and play. We entertained ourselves outside. From the time the sun come up, mama kicked our ass outside. You came inside only just enough time to scarf you down a fucking bologna and cheese sandwich with some tater chips crushed in between. And if you have never done that, you're missing out. But we were always outside. And so these kids are outside. They got this like battle going on, and they got some cool ass fucking outfits to be these little young kids. And it kind of took me back to when I was growing up. I was a G.I. Joe fan, and being outside with my brothers, and we'll play some G.I. Joe and stuff like that. And that's what it's kind of reminded me of. But they got like some cool ass looking outfits to be a bunch of kids. And so it's like this group of these bat warrior type things are fighting off this dinosaur looking people. Some of them got like dinosaur masks on. But what you find out while they're playing is they're making a movie. One of the little kids, Gary, who is the brother of Samantha, Gary is making a movie, a little of this little battle. And the names of some of the kids are, I'm once again reading them again. Asher Grayson plays Jack. Ben Tector, however you say that, plays Miles. Yeah, I think that's the only two. But they play the friends, and they're all making this movie of this fight between good versus evil, whatever. And Samantha, who is the teenage sister to Gary, Samantha might be 13, 14. So she's out there with them, and they have this badass like barn with this big fucking wrestling ring in it. And I would have loved to have some shit like that back in the day, because me, Jacob, and John would get down with some old school Rock and Roll Express and some Stone Cold Steve Austin shit. We would have had a ball in this fucking ring. So they have this fight going on with the sister is like got like this sword, and she's going to fight she's got a gun, and she's going to kill off this head dinosaur, whatever, of the dinosaur people. And while they're doing this group of fucking older teenagers come up in there, and they are the typical, one of them thinks he's the fucking cool guy. His name is Billy. Caleb McDonald as Billy. And in the notes, I literally put asshole next to him, because Billy is going to be that typical teenage asshole, privileged, spoon-fed little piece of shit that had mommy and daddy give him everything his whole life. Well, he comes in with his Trish, who is played by Emma Vickers, and Dallas is played by Isaiah Fortune. So it's Billy, Trish, and Dallas are the three teenagers that come into the barn while they're in there, doing their little movie. I don't know where the fuck they came from. Not really sure. But once at that moment, I realized later why they were up in the barn, So they come in and interrupt this whole little thing. And Billy comes in there. They're talking some shit to the kids and stuff like that. Well, then Billy starts showing Samantha a little bit of attention. And as soon as he starts doing it, the little fucker's up to something. And you got Trish in the background. Trish, in my notes, I put slutty bitch, because once you see her and listen to her, she's the slutty bitch. Dallas in the notes I put next to him, the ass kissing best friend. That one best friend that always going to kiss up to the one person's ass to make them feel cool, make them feel special. So that's Dallas. Well, while they're talking to him, they're talking shit back and forth. The little kids are talking shit right back at them. They come down there like they want to, going to fight with them. Well, then Dallas grabs one of them and, they start giving the kids a hard time. Well, then Samantha steps up there and starts taking up for them, lets them know, hey, that's my brother, blah, blah, blah. Well, then Billy starts showing a little interest in Samantha then. And they kind of have a little conversation back and forth. Eventually they decide to leave. The kids are kind of, bummed out. Well, then later on it shows Samantha up in a room. Well, her phone, she starts looking, she gets a friend request. Goes, oh, good old smooth talking Billy. Then shot her a little friend request. I'm assuming it's like fucking Facebook, So Billy sends her, hold on one second, sip of the Jack. Thank you. But he sends her a message. Well, she clicks on his little Facebook or whatever, and she's looking at some of his posts, some of his pictures, and shit like that. Well, then a few minutes later, he sends her a video of this little song he wrote while he's playing guitar. Kudos, you smooth talking motherfucker. But like I said, she just fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And so she's just all about this kid, Billy, right now. Well, then while she's up there, my main man, Gary, who's just trying to make a movie and have a good time with his friends, he comes upstairs because she was playing one of the main characters in his movie. She was supposed to wrestle the King Dinosaur dude. And like I said, that will make sense once you watch the movie. But she basically blows him off, basically saying she's got homework to do and shit like that, but she ain't got shit to do. She worried about fucking Billy. So my main man, Gary, goes back down to the barn. He said, fuck it, we're going to run this thing without her. So while she's up there cheesing over a little dumbass song that Billy sent her, Gary and him's out the damn barn in the ring, and they're doing like this, getting ready to do a little move or whatever, practicing doing their movie. Well, then fucking Gary falls off a fucking ladder and like breaks his arm. Well, then, which was weird to me. We obviously Samantha wasn't on to the drive because when he broke his arm, her, Gary, Jack, and Miles, they all just hop on their bicycles and they're bicycling to the fucking hospital. Gary's in the back, poor little dude with just one arm chicken winging on the side, trying to pedal his bike. They get to the hospital, and leading up this, I'm like, where the fuck mom and dad at? Well, then in the hospital, fucking parents of the year show up, and they are played by, one second, I got to read these names again. The dad is played by Jonathan Torrens. The mom is played by Jessica Marie Brown. And next to their names, the notes I put were worst parents ever. This little dude, Gary, up in the damn hospital with his arm broke. Samantha's there with him. Parents show up. Mom and dad show up. Mom and dad pretty much just say, we got to leave on a business trip. So we're about to leave the hospital and we're going to go catch our plane to go on our little business trip. We'll see you in a couple of days. Basically tell Samantha like, hey, you got it covered. And so I'm sitting there going, damn, bitch, you couldn't even give my man Gary a ride back to the fucking house. Like he had to chicken wing it with a cast all the way back home. But they literally just up and leave. Tell Samantha that she can't go out for Halloween, because this is around Halloween time. Tell her she can't go out. She has to stay there and watch Gary. So once again, Samantha, and it kind of jumps forward. Well, then Samantha, at the hospital that night, Samantha was kind of dolled up a little bit. Gary had done caught her eye, so she's thinking, let me not be so tomboyish. So she goes at the hospital. She had put her on a nice little shirt. Looked like she had throw a little makeup on, because even Gary questioned her, like, what the fuck? Why you look different for? Because she was trying to get fixed up for our little badass boy, Billy. So it jumps forward. Well, then Billy and Samantha and Trish, the slutty bitch, and Dallas, the ass-kissing best friend, they're all hanging out on a dock somewhere. And they're all discussing, like, what are we going to do for Halloween? Like, what are we going to do? Like, trying to make a plan, figure out what to do. Well, then Billy brings up to Samantha about the barn to do the party there. And that's where I figured out, like, this little fucker Billy just wanted to damn get up there and use her to have a place to throw this party. So he kind of smooth talks his way into it, and she fucking agrees to it. Like, parents are out of town, fuck it, let's just do it at my house. Billy basically telling her, like, hey, it's just not going to be a whole lot of people. We're just going to get together, a few of us hang out, no big deal. Well, that all fucking goes to shit, because next thing you know, this fucking house is rocking. Like, this place is packed. Motherfuckers just partying it up in there, and they're like a big costume party type thing, and they're up in there, and Samantha's walking around like, can't figure out like how all these people come from, and people are commenting on it, like the fact, like, surprised that she was there. Like, somebody comes up to her like, oh, I can't believe you're here, and she's like, well, basically this is my house, and everybody thinks like she's falling into that cool clique now because, oh, he's throwing a party at your house. So at some point, one of the people at the party comes up to her, and she was like, makes a comment about somebody painting on the walls, and she's like, what? And she goes around the corner, fucking Dallas, the ass kissing best friend, is up there literally with a spray can painting on the fucking walls of the house, and they're just going in on this place. Well, then Samantha's kind of like, fuck this, I can't do this. She starts telling Billy she's got to shut it down. Well, then Billy flips it. Billy shows you that he really is a fucking asshole. Like, he starts like in a mean type of way, letting her know like this thing ain't shutting down. He kind of grabs her, and he kind of like threatens her to a way, and basically telling her, we ain't shutting this shit down. Well, then my main man Gary and Jack and Miles, they upstairs, and well, then they get them they got a drone, because they kind of nerdy, but they cool as fuck. They got them a drone. Well, this drone kind of flying through the house, and they kind of see what's going on. Well, they at some point they catch little Trish, the slutty bitch, wanted Billy to go with her upstairs for some, to go upstairs. We know what the deal was. It was a party. She wanted some dick. She wanted some Billy dick. So they go upstairs, and she starts talking with the drone follows them up there. And the drone is recording everything, and so then eventually they get some recording. They got a big screen in the TV, smart TV. So they're going to stream this shit onto the TV to basically let everybody know what's going on. So when they stream this shit, Billy is sitting there. Not Billy, my main man Gary is basically talking shit, talking about how Samantha, did this, she didn't do this, she basically abandoned them type thing, and how she's just worried about some dude. Well, then in the process of videotaping all this, they catch the fact that Billy's up in there talking shit to Trish, the slutty bitch, about basically using Samantha to get to use the house for the party, and talking shit about her, and talking about the clothes she wears and her Halloween costume. And Trish is in the background just trying to get some dick. She's talking about letting me hold it. When they think, fucking Billy pissing all over Samantha's walls, just pissing. And so as this is playing on the TV, Billy comes downstairs and sees it, and then realizes that those kids, that Gary's still in the house. So he goes upstairs, grabs Gary, drags him downstairs, about to beat the little kid's ass. Like Billy thought it was such a badass whooping up on some fucking like 9, 10, 11-year-olds. But and as he's doing this bright light, the same light you see in the beginning when they're out in the ocean, bright light comes on, and this loud noise that has everybody's ears ringing, they kind of like, what the fuck is that? Well, then the light glares, and in the window of this house, you see some fucking shapes of like bodies in these house through the window, through the blinds. You can see the outline in the shadows. There's like 5 or 6 of them that you could see. Big, tall, slender motherfuckers. And they're all kind of like, what the fuck is this? Well, as Billy wanting to whoop up on my man Gary, next thing you know, these fuckers come pouring into the house. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where the fucking aliens show up. So the thing that crashed into the ocean was the fucking aliens. Now, when I say aliens, kudos is that they basically they gave you the description of when I was young, and you would try to draw a picture of what the fucking alien looked like. Kind of the big heads, big eyes, long fucking fingers. They nailed it. They look just like the type of aliens that you've seen growing up, that you kind of maybe drew or thought what aliens look like. They come busting up in there and they just start snatching motherfuckers up. Well, time out. Okay. They start snatching people up. Well, during this whole big struggle, Samantha kind of gets knocked out type of thing. You know, you've seen it in all the horror movies. Somebody bangs against the wall and knocks a bitch out. So she's out. Well, the aliens drag off my man Gary. They drag off all of them, basically. Jack, Miles. They even got Trish, the slutty bitch. They got Billy, and they got Dallas, the ass-kissing best friend. They drug them all out of the house. Well, apparently their house is somewhere near the water. So at this time, these aliens drag them into the water. You just see them disappear into the water. And well, then Samantha wakes up, like figuring out what the fuck going on. Somebody basically tells her, like, the house is kind of empty. Everybody done ran off. The aliens scared the fuck out of everybody. So all of them run out. She starts kind of asking around. And somebody tells her that they drug them out to the water. They drug them out to the water. Whew, the gentleman's talking. But hey, listen, I don't give a fuck if I have to take a pause for a drink, pause for a burp. I'm just here. I enjoy doing this shit. I like having a good time. I ain't official. Nothing fancy about me. Like I said, I do this shit because I enjoy it. I love horror movies and I love talking about them. So I'm not proper. My etiquette, I mean, I can't even spell fucking etiquette. But so basically they get drug out to the water. And Samantha somehow, I guess in the barn, I think they had a wetsuit, like a scuba suit. So she puts her little scuba shit on, and Samantha's going down there to go get them. Well, then when she gets down there, this is where I don't want to go into much details. This is where they get down there, and the aliens. You really see them, and all their friends, the kids are down there, and they got to try to get them free, you know. And so I don't want to give a lot of spoilers out toward how it all goes down. You know, I said spoilers, but I don't want to. You know, I just kind of give you a story kind of leading into kind of how where the aliens come into this thing, and so I don't want to go into it a whole lot and give away a lot. So I want to end that there on kind of how like the story goes. But just know, underwater, alien ship, Sam's going down there to get her brother and her friends, like I said, and then it's going to be a little fight, little alien fight down there. But I want to roll into the cast. And the cast, I kind of touched on all their names. I fucked the names up because I can't pronounce high school diploma here, people. I can't pronounce a lot of these names. I do the best I can. But as far as the cast goes, you could tell this movie was not a very high budget type movie. But as far as the acting went, man, I didn't really have a problem with any of them. You know, they had the characters that you were supposed to hate. You were supposed to hate Billy because he was an asshole. You were supposed to hate Trish because she was a slutty bitch. And Dallas just that ass kissing best friend. All the kids, I enjoyed the kids like Gary, Jack, and Miles. You know, they were all good. I enjoyed watching them. They were funny. They had some funny parts. You know, stuff they talked and stuff like that. The mom and dad, I fucking hated them. Like I said, not the actors or the actress, because they were supposed to play that role. You know, they were just, in my opinion, shitty ass parents. Who the fuck comes home, find your kid with a broken arm in the hospital, and then says, "Oh, we got to go catch a plane. You got it from here." Like, damn bitch, like you didn't give a fuck about your damn kid with his broken arm. But like I said, parents, worst parents ever. Well, maybe not ever, but in my book, ever. So that's the cast. The cast, like I said, they all did good in my opinion for what the movie is. This is not a millions and millions of dollars type thing, and you'll see it when you watch it. The graphics, the aliens, a lot of the stuff like that, you'll see it. It's not the best in the world, but I can't kick any of the cast. I thought they all did good for what the movie was. The kills, which is my favorite part. I love killing. I love the gore, love the blood, love everything about it. That's what gets my dick hard. But there was some good decent gore for a budget, for a movie that wasn't a super high budget movie. And you can tell as soon as you start watching it, you start seeing the aliens and shit. You'll be like, where the fuck? But like I said, not a high budget. A couple of the kills were good. If I had to pick one, and it's one that it's going to come in the part that I didn't want to get into. Once they get down in the water with the alien ship and they're all kind of fighting it out. Well, they're one kill where I enjoyed it mainly because it was the fucking Trish, the slutty bitch. She got hers in this. Like when it finally comes down and they kill her, you know, for it to be not a super high budget movie, that scene where they basically melt her down to the bones is pretty damn cool. I enjoyed that part. For me, that's my favorite kill in it was that. There was a couple more, kills in it. I was happy to see Billy get his. There's some more to it. Like I said, didn't want to spoil it, didn't want to get into it. What happens to Dallas, the best friend, and stuff like that. So I didn't want to really get too much into that. I want you to be able to watch it and kind of know what's going on and be able to enjoy it. But so that's it. That's the story, the cast, and the kills. There were, like I said, there's some decent kind of gory, especially the one my favorite where Trish slutty bitch got hers. It's a good meltdown of when they kill her off. And they do go in, and there's some more reasoning to it of the melting of them and stuff like that. Hey, to figure that out when you watch it. Like I said, don't want to spoil it. But so yeah, this is the part where I tell you if I'm going to fuck this movie, marry this movie, or kill it. Now, to explain the fuck, marry, kill for the ones that do not have just showed up, maybe just popping in. If I say we're gonna fuck it, that's basically what we're saying. That's kind of like a one-night stand. It's kind of like, I know some of y'all out there, we've all been there. That one night you're sitting around kind of bored, kind of tipsy, not really much going on, and you scroll through the phone and you got that old fucking booty call sitting there that, if you hit that up, you're gonna be able to get a little bit tonight. That's the fuck. That's the, one and done. Every now and then you're gonna catch a little feeling, you're gonna be kind of down and out, you're gonna be kind of happy, you want to have a little celebrate one day, but you don't want it serious, you just want to have a little moment. That's a fuck. That's that fuck buddy that you call up. So when I say, that's the way we rate it when I say I want to fuck it. Every now and then, maybe. That's about it. Marry it. Marry it means just like it says. You put a ring on the bitch. You could watch this movie anytime. You want to lay down with it. You want to cuddle with it. You want to hold hands with it. You want to spoon it. You want to make a life of this movie. Like it's going to be there anytime that you may want to just fire it up and watch it. That one's right next to you all the time. That's a go-to. Like I can't wait to watch that again. That's the marry. Then we get to the kill. The kill is like, that's a one and done. I never want to watch it again. I will forget this movie and never care to go back to it. Now, when I rate these things, don't go off of my word. Don't listen to me and base your decision on these movies. We tell you all the time, go watch it. I tell anybody, there's not a horror movie out there that I would tell you not to watch. Because I love all horror movies. I may hate them after I watch them. We've watched a few of those. But I tell anybody to go watch it. Go watch it. Make your own opinion of it. So that's how we go about it. Your own judgment. Enjoy, watch it. It's a horror movie. Just be happy to get to watch horror movies. I love watching them. And if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you probably enjoy horror movies too. So just check it out. So for me personally, and I thought about this one because I watched it yesterday and I thought about it. I was like, man, when I first watched it, I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna kill this bitch. Like I was gonna kill it. Like I was just like, nope. But then I got to thinking about it, because it was one of those movies that had parts in it that was, God, sometimes it was so bad, but then it was good at the same time. I know some of y'all seen movies like that to where it's like, sometimes it's just like, God, it's so bad, it's good. And for me, that's where this one fell in. and it's going to fall into a soft fuck. It's not a hard, it's a soft fuck. It is right there, almost to killing it. But I could see myself reaching over one night on a real just drunk, tipsy, lonely night, picking up the old phone and dialing up Kids versus Aliens just to have something to do that night. So for me, this is going to be a fuck. Soft fuck. But like I said, it's on you to check it out, give us your opinion on it. And like I said, I am looking forward to hearing any comments. Jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think. The link to the Instagram is down there at the bottom somewhere. And, jump in there, leave me a message. Leave me an email if you want to. The email, frightflickfmk@gmail.com. frightflickfmk@gmail. Hey, jump in there. Tell me what your opinion is on the movie. If you would, fuck, get married, or kill it. So I want to hear y'all's opinions on it. My opinion ain't shit. But like I said, hey, I appreciate coming along tonight. Like I said, this was my first time having to do this solo. Totally different. I'm used to having John's little sexy face across from me, bailing me out when I have my pauses or when I want to take a sip of Jack, just like this right here. Oh, thank you. But yep. So, hey, this is going to do it for this week's episode of Fright Flick Fuck Marry Kill. Don't forget, hey, subscribe to the social media. Go in there and give us a like, a comment, a follow, a review, share. It ain't hard. It's like 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Push a fucking button. Leave us a comment. Let me know how you would rate the movie. I want to know if you'd fuck it or marry or kill it. But no matter what, no matter if you would fuck it, marry it, or kill it, always, and I say always, remember the wise words of Randy from Scream.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.